about that bigger picture about the three games that Manchester United have played against City in the calendar year. But in terms of Ten Hag's assessment of this game, where he said it was a decent first half, but he felt he needed to maybe use his bench and get a bit more attacking power on the pitch. Do you think that was the right assessment? Do you agree with it? Do you agree with the decision, the tactical decisions?
I think I agree with what he said about the fact the first half wasn't that bad, and I thought it was OK, and I thought the defensive side of things were fine, and City did, struggle to create openings, and they got the goal, which was, I think, was a soft penalty personally, but it is what it is. But I was asking the question as soon as the substitution was made. When I saw McTominay alongside Eriksen in midfield, I thought that was brave, if not a little bit reckless. I didn't think it would work, and I thought Amrabat must have been injured, but we've just had it confirmed to us that he wasn't injured. So I don't think it was a great day for his substitutions. I think his substitutions last season were amazing, and every time he made substitutions, it improved the team's performance. I thought today, actually, the substitutions made the team's performance worse and opened them up more. So I didn't think it was a great day, but I'm in the camp of, I think I've seen this now 4 or 5 managers down the line of basically second season, third season where they really struggle. And we end up rinse, repeat, exactly the same things happen again, where we start talking about the same stuff. No one's been able to unlock Manchester City. The performances of Manchester United and City have not been good. They haven't been good. I was at the Cup final, sat there with 90,000 other people. The performance wasn't good by Manchester United. That performance in the second half today, to be honest with you, was appalling. And to be fair, I think this, Amrabat coming off emptied midfield. I don't think that was the right assessment of that particular performance. But my anger isn't with Erik Ten Hag. I don't believe he's the fundamental cause of this problem.
I get what you're saying in terms of, rinse, repeat, different managers and stuff like that. But we're now into his second season. And we'd all say, it went well last season from where Manchester United were. But none of us here can still explain what Manchester United try to do in terms of how they play. He's been here now, nearly 18 months. We've seen Unai Emery come in at Aston Villa. We've seen Postecoglou come in now at Tottenham in a very short space of time. Now, that doesn't mean you win every week, but when you go to the games, you know what you're going to see. We still don't know what you're going to see with Manchester United. You tell me how they play with the ball.
No, Karen, and look, to be honest with you, I can't disagree with you. Those managers that you're talking about coming into stable environments, they've currently got over their heads a guy all over the news going to own 25% that's going to basically come out and whine.
Gary,
Why will you not listen? Why do I have to listen to you but you won't listen to me?
Come on.
Right. So basically, you imagine you're in a business, you're in a football club, and the news is that there's a guy going to come in and basically wipe out the whole football department. Have you imagine what's going on inside that football department at this moment in time, in and around Erik Ten Hag? It is toxic and embedded negativity. They all think they're all going to lose their jobs. I know you can say carry on with it, they're professional, but you imagine what's happening. Jim Ratcliffe's going to come in with Dave Brailsford, they're going to sweep out the football department, they're all going to get moved away. That's what's happening. And I honestly believe this toxicity that exists at this club, and has done for years, by the way, it just eats alive every manager that comes and every player that comes.
Okay.
So Harry Maguire was going to go to Manchester City, Mason Mount was going to go to Liverpool. They come here and it's a graveyard for them. Are we going to keep blaming the kids in the class? No. Are we going to blame the head teacher?
OK, so we can't analyse anything Erik Ten Hag does or any performance from Manchester United.
I've just said substitutions were poor today.
OK, but what I'm saying is everything goes back to the ownership. Of course, it's not right the supporters are not happy. But what you're talking about is a style of football. What he's doing on the training pitch, Monday to Friday, every day, has got nothing to do with Jim Ratcliffe coming in. What does he want those players to do? Right. When they're building up from the back, and we see every top team in the league do it, what are Manchester United trying to do with the ball? They're playing underdog football, and they have done since he come in. Gary, let me finish. You just spoke before. They play counter-attack, and they play a lot of long balls. No other top team plays like that. That's nothing to do with what's going on above him. What is he doing on the training pitch? Players he brings in, and what's he asking the team to do?
Karen,
you can't see it.
Karen, I completely agree with you. They've allowed another manager to dictate policy and the tail wag the dog on recruitment. They brought 8 players in from basically a league that Erik Ten Hag thinks he trusts players in. They did the same with Ole, the same with Jose, the same with Louis van Gaal. The problems are above it. I'm not saying that he's not culpable for the mistakes that he's making. He's got injuries to Martinez, who helps him players out. He's got injuries to Varane, and Varane's only just coming back. So there are issues why he can't play out from the back. He's not got Casemiro in midfield, so he's got 3 players who fundamentally are his connection from defence.
Casemiro's one of the worst decisions they made.
No, what I'm saying to you is those players, though, help him play from the back. What I'm saying, I don't like the football at all. I have no idea what the repeated patterns are that they're trying to put in place. But the bigger picture of Manchester United is that we've seen great managers with great reputations and great players with great reputations come here and just die in front of our eyes. Why is that? How do we answer that question?
Do you know how Eric Ten Hag is trying to play at Manchester United?
No, not really. I'd have to agree with what's been said. It's obviously a difficult watch. It's been a struggle. Obviously, the expectations last year was can he get in the hands of the trophy and get top four, which he managed to do. But this year has definitely been a problem. Again, we go back to recruitment's huge at a football club. Of course it is. And there's too many players who've come to the club over the last 18 months, 2 years, who've not been good enough. And obviously, we're well aware that Man United, whatever the price involved, United always seem to have to pay over the top, which seems to be part of the package. The concern is obviously Ten Hag's brought players in that he's obviously worked with, and you think he'd know them a bit better and their characters, but they've come to Man United and it just feels a bit too much for some of them. We can analyse the game today in terms of the physicality, the midfield. They're like children out there. They haven't got that physical presence to get around the park. And too many of the players who've come in for the fees involved haven't done the business.
Just on the point about them being players who've played under Ten Hag and have come from Eredivisie, there are 8 players in that group who have Eredivisie experience, maybe haven't come directly from there, but that has been part of their football progress.
That goes back to what Gary said before, and he's right. Sometimes when we talk about the top at Manchester United, I think there's sometimes this feeling around Manchester United that the manager doesn't get what he wants. Gary's right. I think the managers get too much power. What's going to happen when Eric Ten Hag moves on? You've still got, all that sort of group of players. They're sort of embedded with him. And when I say I'm more critical of the managers, I go back to last summer. And I know Casemiro did well at times last season, but I go back to that. Signing him and Eriksen was not things that a top football club in their position should be doing. They're at the end of their careers. They've had to replace them already with Mason Mount and Amrabat, and we're questioning whether they're good enough. So 12 months later, they're replacing players they bought 12 months before. That's just not joined up thinking at a top football club.
But I think when things aren't right at a club, I think one bad decision seems to follow another. We've seen it at other clubs. And Man United were doing it great, maybe if you look back 10, 15 years ago, and they would get a lot of credit for it, obviously the manager there.